extraordinary honor to be in their presence, particularly here in the sacred ground. I think what was so special was to be with them down at the boulder with the family members, to see the way the family members interacted with them. Just appreciated the fact that they were here, that they care about them, and they care about honoring the memories.
What kind of conversation did the president have? I don't know if you were close enough to hear what it was like with the families.
He shared with the families that one of the greatest things about America is in times of tragedy, we always come through it and we triumph. And I think the president's comments are inspiring, uplifting, and lets those families know that their loved ones didn't die in vain, and that their memories are going to continue to be carried on. You know, for example, here in Pennsylvania, I signed a new law just a few months ago, making sure that every student in Pennsylvania today had a moment of silence, and that also our curriculum is going to be updated to ensure that our young people learn about 9/11. My wife Laura, our first lady, who ran away from there she is, has made it a big priority of hers to add 9/11 more into the curriculum, particularly with, I think, some of the information circulating online, TikTok, Instagram, some of the memes that are just incredibly inappropriate. Rather than attacking young people for posting that stuff, let's educate them. Let's make sure they understand what happened. Let's make sure people share their stories, where they were that day, how it impacted them.
Will you stay here with President Trump when he arrives?
I'm heading to Johnstown right now to visit with some first responders there. I actually, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, I didn't realize he was coming until I arrived here today.
We got time for one or two more.
My departure is not, don't read anything into that.
Where were you? You said, talking about how so many kids too, when they were younger, they don't know about what happened. But where were you that day, and kind of what was your memory and how important it is to be here?
Laura and I lived in D.C. We didn't have any children yet, but Lori was 9 months pregnant with our daughter, who was eventually born literally 5 weeks later. I worked on Capitol Hill as a chief of staff for a U.S. congressman, and I was in one of the buildings next to the Capitol where the members of Congress work. I got in early that day, as I did every day, turned on the Today Show, and I remember seeing the first tower on fire, and they thought it was an aviation accident. And as I'm watching, I saw the second plane go in, and for a moment my mind thought, well, that must have been a replay of the first, and then of course we realized we were under attack. It was that day where there were conflicting messages that came across sort of the loudspeaker in our intercom system, first urging us to leave the building, then urging us to stay in the building. And ultimately, thank God, everyone was safe there. And as we've now learned, the reason why folks were safe at the Capitol is because of the extraordinary bravery here in Shanksville.
Doesn't get any easier though, right? As time passes by, like the family said, more than 20 years, and it feels like almost yesterday, right, when you're standing here in that field.
I think what I'm humbled by serving as governor here is to welcome these families here and to allow them the freedom to just share the stories of their loved ones, to share the stories of the people that mattered so much in their lives and the way they've carried their memory on. I met a young man here who was in the 4th grade, who was telling me about his experience in the 4th grade, who's literally written a book to honor the memories, which you can buy up at the gift shop. Everybody remembers in different ways, and I think it's my responsibility as governor to remember by honoring these folks who are here and their loved ones who are no longer with us, and by making sure young people in their classrooms, in their communities, take a moment to pause on 9/11, and part of their curriculum is to learn about what happened.
Thanks, guys. We got to keep the governor on time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.